Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in today. If you are a buyer or a seller or just love learning more about real estate, well, you're certainly in the right place. Today's topic, well, it's a very timely one. Price reductions. The market is definitely changing, and as a result, we're seeing more and more homes are being reduced in price. So what does this mean for you? Well, before we go dive in, and make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. That way you don't miss any updates about the housing market, buying tips, and everything in between. Now, let's talk about what's happening in the market right now today. So if you've been watching home prices recently, you may have noticed something rather interesting. More homes are seeing price cuts. That's right. After a few years of skyrocketing prices and bidding wars, well, it seems like the market is, well, starting to shift towards a buyer's market. So what does this mean for you as a buyer or a seller? Well, let's break it down. Now, according to recent data from Realtor.com, nearly 1 in 5 homes listed for sale had a price cut back in September. That represents a 19.9% of homes, which is a steady from August, but slightly higher from last year. Interestingly, it's the houses in between that 350,000 to 500,000 range that are seeing the biggest reduction, around 21.6%. Meanwhile, luxury homes over $1 million aren't dropping as much, only about 13.3%. You may be saying, well, why is that? Well, high-end sellers, they often have more equity, flexibility in their financing, and they're simply, or maybe some are just simply selling a second home so they can afford to wait. Meanwhile, well, the mid-tier sellers usually need to sell in order to move forward, and they're more willing to adjust the prices as a result of all of this. Jay Krimmel, a senior economist at Realtor.com, he says that these price reductions are one of the clearest signs, signals that the market is moving into more of a buyer-friendly direction. In fact, 2025 has seen more listings with price cuts than any other year since the pandemic, and certainly more during the big mortgage rate surge in 2022. Now, regional differences, when you take a closer look at this, are also showing up. Northeast is showing fewer cuts, only about 14%, while South and West are around 21%. Now, some major metros like Denver, Portland, and Indianapolis are leading the pack with nearly 30% of homes reducing price. Active inventory has increased 70% year over year as well. And median time on the market has risen to 61 days. Now that's a week longer than what it was last year. In short, well, homes are taking a bit longer to sell as sellers are beginning to adjust expectations, which is the smart thing to do here. Builders are following the same pattern. So according to National Association of Realtors, nearly 38% of home builders reported cutting prices in October. Now, their average reduction has been around 6%. Now, this has brought new home prices closer to existing home prices. So builders are offering more incentives like mortgage rate buy downs, upgrade packages to attract buyers who feel priced out. Mortgage rates are also giving buyers a little bit more breathing room as well. The 30-year fixed rate mortgage recently fell to 6.27%. That's down from 7% earlier this year. Lower rates combined with increased inventory and slower price growth are making conditions much more favorable for buyers. In fact, mid-October has been highlighted as the most favorable buying period of the year so far. Now, there are more listings, lower prices, and less competition. So what does this all mean for buyers? Well, they have more room to negotiate, especially mid-tier market, as we pointed that out earlier. Homes aren't flying off the shelves like they were a few years ago, which gives buyers leverage and more time to make smart, educated decisions. Now, if you've been waiting on the sidelines hoping for a break, well, now might be the time to jump in. Now, let's shift lanes and talk about sellers. This is a completely different story. Sellers who need to move quickly, well, they may need to adjust expectations and consider price reductions or incentives to attract more buyers to look at their property or their home rather. Patience is going to be key for those who can't afford it, especially in the luxury market. But flexibility is becoming more important across the board regardless. At the end of the day, the market, it's shifting, and price reductions is one of the biggest, clearest signals of this change. Now, if you are buying, well, it's a great time to explore your options and potentially negotiate better deals. And if you're selling, well, it's essential to have a strategy and work closely with your real estate agent to price your home realistically. Now, I'm going to encourage you to reach out to your agent to discuss how these trends could affect your specific situation. Every neighborhood, every home, every buyer's circumstances are going to be different at the end of the day. All right, folks. That's all I have here for today's video. As always, thanks for watching. If you happen to be in Orange County or in California looking to buy or sell, I'm a real estate agent right here in Irvine, California. Would love to chat with you. If you enjoy these videos, well, hit that like button down below, subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss out on a market update. And don't forget to check my other videos as well. There are all sorts of content on this channel for buyers, sellers, or anyone simply interested in real estate. Well, until next time, happy house hunting or, well, happy selling.